Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about me: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, two-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Today we have a special, amazing VIP guest by the name of Dr. Felicia Phillips. A little bit about her. Dr. Felicia Phillips is a master business strategist and president of the U.S. Business Women's Network. Her award-winning agency, PPICW, is headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. PPICW is focused on helping diverse businesses and corporations with their supplier diversity and inclusion initiatives, strategic planning, training, and development. Felicia is a 29-year-old serial entrepreneur, a member of the Forbes Coaches Council, and has been featured in Upscale Magazine, the Huffington Post, Atlanta Journal and Constitution, Rolling Out Magazine, CBS Better Mornings, BET, TLC, Centric TV, and many other media outlets. Dr. Phillips has had the pleasure of working with Georgia State University's Andrew Young School of Policy, the Urban League of Greater Atlanta's Entrepreneurship Center, City of Atlanta, Delta Airlines, the Small Business Administration, and many other organizations. Dr. Phillips received the Phoenix Award from former City of Atlanta Mayor Hakeem Reed, the 2015 Connector Award, the 2016 Influence Her Award, GMSC 2018 Class 1 Supplier of the Year, and Felicia has also been recognized in Who's Who's in Black Atlanta. As a wife, mother, and influencer, Dr. Phillips understands the difficult balance women face and is committed to helping them birth their visions and become profitable business owners while being unstoppable. Welcome to the table, the amazing Dr. Felicia
Well,
Phillips.
thank you. Thank you for giving me a seat at the table. I appreciate that, and thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, ma'am. You have already created your seat, so I am honored and humbled to be able to interview you today.
Well, let's get to it.
Yes, so will you please tell us about your entrepreneur journey, Dr. Phillips? You have such an amazing bio, so would you please walk us through your journey?
Yeah, I love when people read those bios. It really gives you a moment to reflect because sometimes you're moving so fast, you kind of forget the things that you have accomplished. And for me, I've been on this journey for quite some time. I started at the age of 19 when I launched my first business while at Georgia State University, which was a durable medical equipment business. And I'll tell you, I worked for another company, and you know how you just get tired? And sometimes God will push you, you won't move, and so he'll present an opportunity. And so that business was failing, but I saw an opportunity. I was great at sales, had made some great relationships and contacts, and so I started my own business. And so by the time I was 21, I was making six figures, and I realized that my success was up to me, if that makes sense. Because sometimes you don't know what you're capable of until you do it. And so started at 19. From there, I developed my own mortgage company here in Atlanta, was a real estate investor and developer here, built an 8-figure company. But then life hit me, and during the when the economy crashed in 2008, I was faced with making a decision, like, what am I going to do now? And just when you think that you have made it and you're doing something that you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life, sometimes God will throw you a curveball, and he threw me one. Yeah. And I had to make a decision. And so from there, and I'm going to back up just a little bit. Right before that happened, I was smart enough to invest in other businesses. So it allowed me to I had a tech company, a logistics company. I had taken a product to market. And so it gave me a wealth of knowledge, right? Not knowing what I would be going into. And so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what am I going to do next? And I thought, I'm going to do what I love, what I know better than anything, and that is building businesses. And as a woman, I felt that I had an advantage for helping other women who wanted to be in business. And so I started teaching actually over at the Urban League's Center for Entrepreneurship. Mark Parham and a couple other people over there, they helped me to really get a clear look at who I could be. And sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes you need a platform where you can see yourself growing. And so as I began to help other entrepreneurs, I was hooked. And I knew this was something that I was good at, that it wasn't just textbook knowledge, but the fact that I had real-world experience. And I think today when we are surrounded by people who, don't have that real-world experience, when you could get with someone like myself who's been there, done that, and can reduce your learning curve and, in essence, save you a lot of money, it can be invaluable. And so there my business was born. And I will tell you, I cannot see myself doing anything else.
Amazing. All that started with that curveball, right? Because if you would have gave up right there, you wouldn't be where you at now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That process. And I just want to commend you. I mean, you started out at the age of 19. That was amazing.
Right.
Building an
age of 19. And I have to give credit where credit is due. I had some very influential people in my life. My father was an entrepreneur. My uncles were entrepreneurs. And then on my mother's side, my great-grandmother and my grandmother, they were entrepreneurs. So for me, where some people grow up and, they see their parents working in corporate or other 9-to-5 positions, I saw entrepreneurs all around me who were committed to building wealth and legacy.
And it shows in all the things that you've done and you're continuing to do. So I commend you, Dr. Phillips. You have an amazing story. Amazing
Thank
story.
you.
So what are some of the benefits of having certifications depending on the industry you are a part of?
That is a great question. So first of all, let me clarify. When we talk about certification, we're talking about business certifications.
Right.
And so because there are a lot of certifications, that are out there. And so we're talking about the minority business enterprise. You have WeBank, who does the women-owned certification. And then you have various government, women-owned small business, disabled business enterprise. So you have so many certifications. But here's what I want your listeners to understand is that what the certification does is it gives you leverage, right? Sometimes you just need your foot in the door. And so going through the process helps you get ready for that client, whether that's a corporate client or government client, agency, contract that you're going after. The certification basically legitimizes, if you will, your business.
I love that. Love that. And so for the people that are looking into maybe possibly getting those type of certifications, what is some of the process of how to really get into it or go out and seek them and find those and start applying for them, Dr. Phillips?
So what I would suggest is that, one, they can go to nmsdc.org for the minority business certification. They can go to WeBank for the women-owned certification. And if they click on Get Certified, the criteria is there. And so some basic things are that you're going to have to be in business a couple years. You're going to have some type of past performance because they're going to want to see things like, maybe contracts that you've had in the past, who you've worked with, what were the solutions you provided, whether that was a product or service. That you're going to have your paperwork in order. So your checking account, your business checking account, your revenues, so your taxes are going to have to be done. If you have board of directors, your business meeting minutes, there's a lot that goes into the certification process. Testimonials, and there's a laundry list of things. And so what I try to do is when I'm working with a small business owner is help them to kind of pull all that together so that they can get certified and then position themselves at that next level.
So listeners that are listening, if you're looking to do that, definitely reach out to Dr. Phillips, and get the help, get the help from the expert to help you get to that next level, which leads me into what I want to ask you next, Dr. Phillips. What are some of the best certifications for diverse businesses?
Great question. So there are quite a few. So I want to explain something, too, also to the listeners. There's something called a $1 billion roundtable. And so what that is a group of companies, different companies who are saying, hey, we want to spend $1 billion with diverse businesses. Now, let's explain what diverse is. Diverse is based on ethnicity, based on gender, LGBTQ. It can be an individual with disabilities and also veterans, right? So that encompasses it. And so each one of those categories has a particular certification. And usually what you can do is you can reach out to the different councils, and they will take you through their certification process, right? So NMSDC has locations in every state just about, and they will help you through the process. WeBank does the same thing. The LGBTQ community, they have a certification. Veterans have a certification. So there is something out there to give each group that is represented that leg up that they need to be noticed and to get in the door to basically present their products and services.
So please definitely visit those websites to continue to grow your businesses, because we all can use more, certifications in order to continue to grow our businesses and our brand. So Dr. Phillips, you have an award-winning agency, PPICW. Will you please tell us more about your amazing company?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. So, yes, we won the 2018 GMSDC Class 1 Supplier of the Year. We were elated because we're very passionate. Our organization is founded by entrepreneurs. And so our goal is to help organizations. So let's talk about the corporations. We want to help them with their diverse spend. And sometimes what that means is helping them develop content for programs that allow small businesses or existing suppliers that may be in their supply chain to grow, scale. They may need to develop their team, their leadership. They may need to look at their business model. Maybe it's capital, right? Because a lot of times what we don't think about is you're going after an RFP, and when you get into that scope of work, one of the things you got to realize is, do I have the financial capability, right? Because sometimes organizations may not pay you for 60, 90, 120 days. Can your business withstand that? And then, so that's on the corporate side. We do strategic planning for both corporations, nonprofit organizations, and small businesses. I just finished one. I had a company fly in from Las Vegas, and we went through a 2-day strategic planning. And what's interesting about that, and I encourage so many small businesses to do this, is that we were able to help them uncover an area of revenue that they had not considered. So now we were able, through that 2-day strategic planning meeting, we were able to strengthen their business model, which is going to make them more profitable, but it's also going to expose them to new clients and position them as experts in their field. And so we do that for everyone, like I said, small businesses, nonprofits, and corporations. We have project managers on staff. We have engineers on staff. We have leadership experts on staff. And then we have master business strategists and coaches who are able to help you as well.
So why is it so important for our small businesses to go through that process, Dr. Phillips? Why is that really vital to your business getting to the next level?
So, I always like to talk about Toyota. So, Toyota does a 100-year strategic plan, and then they work backwards. So what happens in small business, we're eager for that next sale. I always say, small business owners are chasing the money, right? Where's the money? I need a contract. But they don't take the time to be strategic in identifying who are the top 10 companies we want to go after. Okay, now we know who they are. So now we need to identify why would they want to do business with us. And so that means we're going to have to do some research. That's another Achilles heel for a lot of business owners. They don't take the time because they're so busy, going from client to client and trying to close that next deal. You have to take time for those bigger deals, for those clients, to see what their pain points are. We talk about pain points a lot, but to discover a pain point for a corporation is going to mean you're going to have to put some time into research and then positioning yourself to be noticed, right? So are you telling your story well? Right? Storytelling affects your brand in so many ways. And so you want to make sure that the client can see themselves in other client success stories that you have. And so what we do in the strategic planning session, there are about 7 areas that we cover in the business process to make sure that that company is on point, that they're telling their story to attract the clients that they want to do business with, but also when they get to the table, they know how to ask for that business and then close the deal. So it is a process that we go through to strengthen those companies so that they can compete in their industry and in the marketplace.
Because, just based on what we've been discussing so far, do you believe that a lot of business owners, because they haven't went through that process and really took the time to do that, have left a lot of money on the table?
Absolutely. We see it all the time. And then sometimes you're moving so fast that it's not just about the money, but you're missing, this does tie back to the money, but you're also missing the other clients you could be serving, right? You're missing other things that you could be doing as far as services, as far as products. Every company should have services and products, every company, right? Because that's what, allows the client to see value. So we have to know our value proposition when we're going after new business and continuing to serve existing clients. Because the opportunity is you can position yourself as a strategic advisor to that company. So what happens then is you're not waiting for an RFP to come out. You're not waiting for an RFI or RFQ, which are requests for proposals, requests for information, requests for quote. You're not waiting and then having to be reactionary, right? You're being proactive. You're helping the client. When the client has ideas, they think, hey, let me call Ashley. She can walk me through this. She can help me come up with the idea. And now you've positioned yourself better to get that business.
Love it, love it. For all our listeners that are listening, please reach out to Dr. Phillips or get some expert help on strategic planning for your business. It's so important that, like she said, we serve and we don't leave any money on the table as well. I love that, Dr. Phillips. Thanks for sharing those nuggets because that was needed.
Sure.
So why are the certifications important to corporations and the government?
So the certifications are important because, remember I said they legitimize you, so it allows the corporation to know that you're, quote-unquote, corporate ready, meaning you have checked all the boxes, your foundation is set up properly, all your business is in order, right, and that you have the capacity, okay, you have the capacity to do business with large corporations. Because think about it. Large corporations have small businesses knocking on their door every day, hundreds, maybe even thousands of them. And so there has to be a way to weed out those who are not ready, right? And the certifications allow them to do that.
That's so important. And for anybody that's looking to get your certifications, depending on your field, definitely go do it, because as she stated, it weeds you out. So it gives you definitely more bigger foot in the door. Correct, Dr. Phillips?
Right. I'm sorry. I was going to add this too. You want to go through the process. Even, let me tell you why I always suggest that people look at the process, because it'll let you know what you need to get ready for. Sometimes you got to get ready, not wait until it's too late or you got to rush through the process and you're stressed, right, trying to hurry up and get this certification. Go and look now. What does it take for me to get certified and start the process, or at least know what you have to do so you can be ready and you don't have to start and stop, but that you can finish.
Yes, and it also separates you from everybody else because you want to stand out too. You want to get the job,
That's
right?
Exactly right. That's exactly
you want to get
right.
the job, absolutely. And I love that. Start the process. You just got to do it. Just start the process.
Just do it.
So what are some common myths? We hear about, the certifications and how they can help us get there, Dr. Phillips, but there's also some common myths that people have about certifications too.
Right. Like one is, I'm going to get a contract. The certification does not guarantee you a contract. You still have to do the work. It doesn't guarantee you anything. It's like you said, it gives you that advantage over other businesses. Now, you still got to show up. You still have to position yourself as the expert, as the go-to, as the one that company should go with in order to solve their problem or their challenge. So it doesn't guarantee you $1 million or even $10 million. All it guarantees is that now you can go and position yourself and say that, yes, we're ready.
Right. So for everybody that's listening, it does not guarantee you a contract. It does not guarantee a contract, okay? Just position yourself and it helps get you into the door, but you got to determine if you're going to stay in the door once you get in there.
Yeah, you have to do the work. I think people get through the process and I think they pump themselves up so that they forget that, okay, the work has just begun, right? You still have to get out there, and you got to be, when you get your certifications, be active. Be a part of a committee that's based on your industry. And one other thing I want to say is that they need to be subscribing to industry-based magazines, blogs, so that they can stay on the cutting edge of what's happening in their industry.
Because that is so important, being knowledgeable and doing your research and knowing what you're talking about.
and knowing the trends. Yeah, you got to know the trends that are happening and that are coming.
Yes. And you have an amazing U.S. Business Women's Network that you're the president of, Dr. Phillips. Let's talk more about that network and how we can get involved and support and become a member.
Absolutely. So it's the website is usbusinesswomen.com. And what I love about it is we're based on the golden rule. We want to treat others the way we want to be treated in business. And I say that, and it sounds simple, but as we all know as business owners, it is not. And so we are very big on 4 areas: culture, impact, leadership, and diversity. Because what we forget when we build our businesses and with any organization that we join, there is a culture that surrounds that business, and usually that starts from the top. And so for me, I'm big on collaboration, right? I want to hear the voice of the people, the voice of the people who are members. What are their aches and pains? Because a lot of times we're so busy talking about, the aches and pains of corporations or clients that we want to do business with, that nobody's listening to our aches and pains, right? Nobody's listening to what we need. And so we're committed to the advancement of women. We operate in integrity when we're engaging with our members to make sure that they're getting what they need, and we hold ourselves accountable. And that's really important. And so we have leaders within USBWN who, when you come on board, are going to help you, who are going to find out what it is that you need. And then we have partnerships that we can put our startups into to help them get what they need through partnering with the SBA and the EDGE, who is here, but they service nationally. And we just want to make sure that we have value. We show value to our members. That's really important.
I love that. So please definitely get involved with the U.S. Business Women's Network. It's an awesome family to be a part of. And you spoke on something, Dr. Phillips, that definitely stood out. It's so important to get to the next level, and that's collaboration. Can you speak on it a little bit more and elaborate on why that's so important in getting to that next level?
It is important because you can only go to the same people so many times. Initially, maybe the first few times, they're excited. They want to be a part of what you're doing. And then, they kind of get numb to your emails. They're not opening your emails as much. They're not really hearing you. And so you got to partner with other people, other organizations, so you can get your message out there to a broader audience. You've got to understand that when you partner with someone, they're going to bring advantages to the table that you may not have on your own. And so you want to be conscious. I always say look for the win-win. We hear that a lot. And so it's not what's in it for me, but what's in it for we. We win together. So you've got to, when you're looking at developing partnerships or collaborations, one of the things I always teach is write out the expectations on both sides, right? Because we both want to make more money. We want to get more exposure, but there is some responsibility that comes with that. And so I always tell people, make sure you put a memorandum of understanding in place. Make sure you write everything down, because collaborations are really what gets you the exposure that leads to expansion and growth.
With the right people.
With the right people. And that's where that memorandum of understanding comes in handy.
Yes, Dr. Phillips. And I want to touch on more of the women's side. Now, why do you think some women are afraid to collaborate? Why do you think that's such a big issue?
I think past experiences, I think we all have a story. I think we've all been burned, quote unquote burned, or, something didn't work out, or people didn't do what they say they're going to do. I mean, it's happened to me. It's happened to so many. But I will tell you, with me, I don't allow that to stop me, because I understand that was with that person. That's not how everybody operates. And so you have to look at, who are you surrounding yourself with, right? Who are you sharing your dreams with? Who are you talking to? I will tell you, I do not have that problem anymore. Because one thing about it, when you've gone through it, you should learn from it. You should know what to do and what not to do, right? And so, one of the things you had asked me too, I remembered, was, what can failure teach you, right? And sometimes we look at partnerships that didn't go the right way as failures. And if you hadn't walked the walk, you can't talk the talk, right? Your failures are like earning your MBA, if you will. And so now your gut has a compass. It tells you when it's feeling good, and it could be a great partnership, and when it's bad and you should run away, right?
Right.
So I definitely believe in collaborations. I just told you, hey, we're collaborating with a lot of organizations to get the U.S. Business Women's Network out there. And I believe that if you want to grow your company, if you want to get your message out there, that's what you have to do.
Absolutely. And I like how you spoke on the memorandum and the contracts and all that, having those things in place, and those expectations are so important, right? It keeps everybody,
exactly
on the same page.
That's right. Set expectations. Absolutely.
So what are some strategies you would give to women who are trying to decide if they should pursue certifications for their field? Like for the person that's listening right now that's kind of stuck in between or don't really know if they should jump or not.
So each one of the organizations that I had mentioned earlier, they have an opportunity where you can come out and learn more about what certifications can do for your business. I suggest that you go and attend. They do them on a monthly basis. Sometimes they're in person, sometimes they're webinars. So once you decide what it is, I would suggest, guess what, pick up the phone. Call, ask. You should know why. We talk about always start with why. Why do I want this certification, and what is it going to do for my business, right? Ask yourself those questions before you even go after the certification. Talk to someone who is certified. Ask them, how has this certification helped their business? And then apply that knowledge to yourself.
Absolutely. So for all of our listeners that are listening, do your research. Step out there and like she said, attend the webinars, attend the events, and see if it's a good fit for you. Awesome.
Absolutely, yes.
So, Dr. Phillips, you've been on a lot of media outlets, member of Forbes, Coaches Council, Upscale, BET, TLC, Centric TV. Would you please share with us how one can reach these amazing goals?
Show up. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to allow anybody to invest more in me than I'm willing to invest in myself. And that's where people mess up. I show up. I go, I position myself, I serve. Serving is really what has gotten me to this point. It's not all about, the dollar and how much money I'm going to make, right? That's not what's important to me. What's important to me is that I'm serving, that people find value in what I do. And what happens inevitably when you do that, you will position yourself that your message can be heard, that you can touch the lives of other people so that they can transform and do better. And that's when that attention, I just here recently started to work with individuals, professionals with, public relations and in the media. All of it has been through me serving, honestly, and doing what I said I was going to do and showing up and providing value. When people see that, they love it. They want to help you. People genuinely want to help you win. There are a lot of women out here who are serving and who are doing great things. And if you continue to do that, you'll be able to get all of those accolades and and being able to get the exposure.
Love that. And one key thing you said, which was all of them, was show up and serve. That's the key, serving. How can
Yes,
you help somebody else get there? Reach back and pull them forward, right?
That's right.
And can you speak more? I know you deal with a lot of small businesses, and I know a lot of people don't want it. Well, some people don't want to, give things away for free. What is your outlook on that? Because that's part of service.
So if you know me, if you follow me, if you've been to any of my events or trainings, I give away a lot for free.
Yes.
Let me tell you why. Because I am not bothered. I know that whatever is for me is for me. I'm very spiritual in the fact that I know that whatever God has for me, whatever my blessings are, I'm going to get them. Whether I can show you exactly what I do, but the way it happens for me and the way it happens for you is going to be totally different. So I don't have to worry about that. I don't think that way. I think that for me, I just know I'm very clear about if I serve, if the person is genuine, even if they're not, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to serve. I'm going to help them. I'm going to position them. Now, what happens on their end is up to them.
Getting in position. That is so key to getting to the next level. Positioning yourself. Yes. Positioning yourself. So, Dr. Phillips, I ask all of my guests this question. How did you create your seat at the table?
Great question. So I never waited for anybody to ask me to have a seat at the table. I created my own table. And what happened was when I began to create my own table and continuously to show up, people began to ask for a seat at my table. You've got to have the confidence. Remember I said you got to invest in yourself. And if you know that what you have is good, you don't have to wait. Create your own stage. Create your own table. Get out there. Blog. Let people read about what you're doing and how you're transforming lives. We get so caught up in wanting other people to validate our success. God has already validated you. You're here. It's up to you to make it happen. And so, I like that, everybody's like, how can I get a seat at the table? But while you're waiting, create your own table.
Yeah, build your own. I love it.
And I guarantee you they will ask you to come and have a seat at theirs.
Absolutely. And why is it so important to have mentors and coaches that are where you want to be, Dr. Phillips? Why is that so important? Because, everybody's a mentor and a coach, but you got to make sure you're investing in the right people.
Well, first of all, you should interview your mentor or coach to make sure they're the right fit for you. And then you need it because they have the experience that you do not, meaning that they can shorten your learning curve. They can help you, get to a profitable point faster because they should have the relationships. If you're a mentor and you're working with somebody, you should be making introductions, right? You should be positioning them. That's what a mentor does. That's what a coach does.
And another thing I would say, Dr. Phillips, is when you're having a coach or a mentor, they should be okay if you pass them.
Oh, no, they should want you. I love it when my clients pass me because I'm excited to know that I played a part in that success, right? I think, oh, my gosh, I want all of my clients to soar, right, to just really get to that level that they see themselves at because, your success is visualized first. It's how you see yourself. And so oftentimes when I meet with a client, I want to hear their vision, right? I want them to take me along the journey that they see themselves on because that's going to help me better in getting them to that point. So I'm elated. I want, hey, those are my testimonials.
I love it. Visualize it. You got to be able to see it first. Absolutely. Love that. So we know that failure taught you going through it, learn from it. What did success teach you?
Oh, my goodness. So remember I said, we were talking, I said, you got to love what you do. Success has taught me that you have to learn what you have to love what you do, but also that you have to stay open to unexpected and bold ideas because sometimes what happens, if you ever notice, when a person becomes wealthy, it just seems like all the opportunities happen for them, right? And it's because you have to have an open mind about what you're doing. But the biggest thing is you got to stay persistent. You have to continuously show up. When I first started out, my goal was to get 10 no's in a day. Well, guess what? That never happened. So you got to stay persistent because it's like it says, persistence pays off.
Yes, yes. Persistence pays off. You have to love what you do. That is key because it was showing your work. It was showing your results. It will.
Absolutely.
So what can we expect from you, Dr. Phillips? We know you already probably surpassed quarter one. We're in quarter two now. So what can we expect from you the rest of 2019?
Well, I have some upcoming conferences. I share with you that I'll be at the Black Enterprise Forward, the Entrepreneurs Conference in Charlotte in June. But I am coming up on my annual conference, MogulCon, which happens here in Atlanta, October 24th through the 26th. And, this year we're expecting over 300 women to join us here. We have so much in store. I'll be introducing some new things, some great experts and people who have done amazing things to share and to learn from one another. And we always have a great time. So I want to invite your listeners to join us at MogulCon this year.
I love it. Congratulations on all. How can they go register and go get the tickets for that conference, Dr. Phillips?
Really simple. All they have to do is go to mogulcon.com.
All right, mogulcon.com. And she will be in Charlotte at the Black Enterprise Conference in June, correct? So
that is correct.
There.
Yes.
Awesome.
I can't wait to see everyone.
Yes, please meet her out there. I'm looking forward to. I was trying my best to attend that conference as well, Dr. Phillips. So definitely support her. And Dr. Phillips, I'm super excited to see what 2019 is going to continue to bless in your life.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for having me on your show.
You're welcome. So will you please tell them how they can contact you one more time and follow you on all social media platforms?
Sure thing. You can follow me on all social media platforms at I am Dr. Phillips. And you can simply email me at my business email address, which is my name, Felicia@FeliciaPhillips.com.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Dr. Phillips, for taking time out of your very busy schedule to come to the table today, and I look forward to bringing you back before the end of the year.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins-Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to Dr. Larry White Sr. and author Kimberly McLemore. And you all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.